Jane, I'm looking at my computer with confusion because I'm not sure YouTube went live quite to time. You should be live now. Fingers crossed, eh?
Let's hope so.
Fingers crossed. Good morning and welcome to Natasha Makes. It's Stitchy Witchy Wednesday though. So today Natasha doesn't make.
No, it's me.
Today we've got our lovely Jane Alcock with you and she is bringing us the latest block of the month.
We're harvesting.
Yes.
October.
Yes. We're harvesting / Halloweening. Oh, I've got a bingy bing. That tells me that Sororge is trying to tell me something. That lovely techie of ours. What are you trying to say, Sororge? What are you trying to say? Is everything all right? Are we live? Yes, we're live. Brilliant. Yes, we've been doing the calendar quilt now, Jane, since November last year, haven't we?
Yes, because we're a couple of months in front.
Yeah.
To give us time to get the kits to you and you to make your block in time for the month.
Yes, exactly. So we started in November last year with January's block, which is very important to mention because we now have got restock of January's block. Not many, mind.
No.
Not many.
Limited stock,
yes.
But a few more, should you wish to join in.
We have a few more. So if you missed out on January's block, which is the snowflake, then you can get that today. Hopefully, if you're quick. Then it's gone through and it's been, so November we did January's block, December we did February's block, and it's August.
Yes.
And we're doing October's block, Jane, aren't we? So everyone's got time to make, receive their kit, make, and then display in one of two ways, really.
Yeah, because we've done it so that you can do the whole quilt, so you could have all 12 blocks set within a quilt frame in setting, or you can make our sort of like a perpetual calendar. I can't even say the words this morning. So you can make an individual block.
Perfect.
And each month you can hang your block. We don't have any of the stands. We keep trying to get some, but they're very difficult to get hold of.
Yeah, it was an import situation, wasn't it? And they're just impossible to get hold of here, unfortunately. If you are watching abroad, maybe you are. Maybe, you know, you're in America or somewhere.
Well, if you're in America, you'll get them
really
no problem.
Easily.
Yeah.
But Jane, the instructions include how to finish your block with like a sleeve, don't they? So that you could post, say, a bit of dowel through it or do something different to hang it that way.
You could make it into a cushion front of a bag, however you want to finish it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've got this month's kit that will be going live shortly. We also then have previous month's blocks as well. If you've been, why would you not, bedazzled by next month's block or looking at the Christmas one and thinking, oh, I want to make those, you can't make those yet. So November will come out this time next month, December will come out this time in October.
Yes.
Perfect. So yes, Jane, and it's been a labour of love, this one, hasn't it? We've enjoyed it.
Yes, it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's designed to give you a taste of lots of different types of applique. There's some patchwork, there's a bit of foundation piecing. They're just like 12-inch finished blocks, so it's just a little taster. Yeah. So it's not over-facing, and you might think, well, yeah, okay, I've done the block, but I'm never going to do that again. And that's fine.
But you've learned a new skill along the way, potentially.
We're not going to make you do a whole quilt in the same thing over and over again. So it's just a little taster, a bit like a sampler quilt, just a little bit different techniques, mostly applique. Bless you. Different styles.
Very
different techniques. So a nice little sort of taster into some different ways of doing patchwork and quilting.
I had no time to get to my mic then to switch it off. Oh my word, I'm known for fairy sneezes. When Natasha starts, she doesn't stop. She'll sneeze 10 times. But when I sneeze, I do sound like a fairy. Sorry, everybody, if I was a bit squeaky in your ears. I've noticed as well, look, Facebook, everything's going on this morning. Just going to quickly have a tappy tap and adjust the fact that the link's the wrong link. It thinks it's Lutterlow Day and it most certainly is not. But if you missed that...
sorry, it's not Lutterlow Day.
That was Monday, wasn't it? And it was
that was really interesting. It was lovely to have Rolf here, and it was, really good show. But I don't have that skill. I've got different skills.
Yes. Jane, we have many things to show today. It's not just the block. We've got various
we've got
things
other things. We've sort of amalgamated Halloweeny and other autumnal things in with our...
It's a bit of pumpkin love, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, we do like a pumpkin. And
we've got...
the block is very pumpkin driven, isn't it?
Yes.
But before we talk about pumpkins and perhaps what else we've got on offer for you today, perhaps I should go into overhead and then you can show everyone the blocks they've missed so
yes,
far.
because we're hanging the quilt from April, just because otherwise we'd lose the last 3 down the back of the
the
display.
First 3 blocks would be along the top. But if I go into overhead cam, then you can show everyone the blocks they've missed so far.
Yeah.
And everyone can,
just move
have a little
out
peep.
of the
And then,
way.
oh gosh, all these things everywhere. Sorry,
all the things.
I decided to make an infinity scarf with about 4 minutes to go before we went to air.
Good. You know, Gemma's got 107 things to do this morning, but she said, "Oh no, I'll quickly whip up an infinity scarf." And to be fair to her, it took her less than 10 minutes to do.
Yeah, it was literally about 6 minutes.
You know, she's super whizzy when it
Even
comes
with
to infinity scarves.
Even sewing with fabric right side to wrong side to start with, and then going, "Oh no," and I had to unpick it. It was less than 10 minutes.
So this is January's block, and as we say, we've got a few more, just a limited stock, but we have got a few more kits of these, and it's EPP, so English paper piecing, but it's not papers, it's the Ashme Designs. It's like a type of wadding. It's not very thick. It's a lovely technique. You leave the foundation in there, and then we made the snowflake shape and we appliqued it on. Included in your kit are some of these little gems that you can attach should you want to embellish your snowflake, which is rather nice if you're using it as an individual hanging or a cushion. Probably not if you're using it as a quilt, because you may have to wash it a lot and they may come loose and things like that. If you use it, if you're making it, if you're making it for a small child, maybe not add them either, because choking hazard.
Well, and the other thought, Jane, is that each block we've made so that you've got enough fabric
to make
your quilt block, which you perhaps wouldn't put the sparklies on, but then to make another front so you can pop it into another project where you perhaps would use your sparklies.
But you'll get a nice bag of sparklies that you can use on other things as well. So, you know, they're in there. And you've got sparkly thread in there because we did a little bit of free motion quilting on the on this block, just to enhance the sort of snowflakey feel. The fabric that you get's got snowflakes and stars. It's slightly different to the one that I used. We weren't able to get any more of that, but it's got little silver stars on it as well, so it's really pretty.
Really beautiful. Cynthia's joined us from Ohio. She says, "Greetings, I'm behind on my calendar quilt, like I always have multiple projects going at the same time." We know that feeling, don't we,
We're
Jane?
all the same. And the beauty of this is, you know,
every year
it's going to be the same. So you don't have to worry.
Exactly.
February is a heart, and we did a ribbon weaving technique and then a bit of reverse applique on that one. That was a pretty one to do.
Really nice.
March winds. So we've got the pretty patchwork kite, appliqued, bonded applique, introduced some free motion embroidery. Gemma was able to get up close and personal with her mobile phone on this one because we were having some technical issues, but it actually worked. It benefited us greatly because we were able to get really up close and see the free motion technique. So that really helped a lot of people with that one.
And those old shows are there to watch.
They're all
back.
there on Facebook, YouTube rather.
And my footage on my phone, I put. Well, and there's been a few times I've done that, hasn't there, Jane?
Yeah,
I've put my phone into where the camera is so that you can see my phone on camera, which has been a bit strange, but has worked somehow, which is nice.
So March winds, and then we get April showers. So we've got biased, making the rainbow, a padded applique. We're going to do padded applique again today, and a bit of bonded applique. So it's a lovely rainbow. March winds, April showers bring forth May flowers. So this is a traditional style Baltimore block. We did a technique that gives the impression of needle turn applique, but is quite easy to do on the machine. So that was a nice one to do. I did a little bit of hand quilting in the middle there, but you can do it on machine. You don't have to do it by hand. Then we've got the June block, which is did we just call it summertime? I can't remember.
Oh no, I'm trying to remember now.
Spring, summer flowers? I can't remember. Anyway, it's a beautiful butterfly.
I can tell you, it's on the screen in front of me. I just need to locate it because we've got all sorts of deals that are in the way now. So I've got to scroll down past those. Here it is. That was the butterfly / summer garden block.
Summer garden, that's it.
A new butterfly was in there somewhere.
My favourite daisies in there, and some buddleia.
Yes.
whatever you want, because other people were thinking it might be looping or whatever. You can address it, you know, change it around to make it your own. I've seen some lovely blocks that people have done and added different flowers to. It's really lovely because I'm giving you the foundation of the technique. You can alter it, change it, add more, take some away, whatever you'd like to do. It's not, you know, I'm not going to come around and tell you off if you've made it slightly differently to the way I do.
In actual fact, she's quite nosy. She likes to see when you've done it differently. So please
I do love to see your interpretations of it because it's lovely. July always reminds me of summer fairs. So this is the cake stall at a summer fair. We've got the bunting, the table with all the cakes and the strawberries on. There's a little bit of hand embroidery down here. This is all bonded and free motion embroidery. And again, we were able to get quite close with that so you could see how that was done. August, summer holidays, sandcastle with the shells. And again, I've seen a lady that she's added some more shells. She's added shell type buttons.
Oh, it's fabulous, isn't it?
And a little crab and a starfish and all sorts on hers. It looks lovely. So again, you know, you can go to town with these and add more or change them slightly. September, we've got the autumn leaves. September, the leaves start to change. So we did a leaf, little bit of foundation piecing on this block here, but I gave you the template so that you can make it your, you know, cut out templates and sew it that way if you'd prefer. That's a lovely, simple patchwork one. Then this is November's that will be coming up next time. This is foundation paper piecing. Again, it's not difficult. It's made in quarters. We'll go through it. Hopefully you won't feel overphased, but again, I'll show you how to make the templates if you don't really don't want to do it foundation. Okay. And I haven't got the December one finished yet either. Every month so far I have said this. It will be finished for December, might even be finished for next month.
It will be finished for December. It has to be finished for December because we need to display it here.
Absolutely,
we do.
It will be.
Jane, the last month that you did this here, beautiful leaf.
Yes.
Used a lot of batiks, didn't it?
Yes.
And when we did that block, again, we're using a lot of batiks this month as well. When we did that block, we popped up some batik bolt ends.
We did.
And everyone went bonkers for them, and they disappeared, and there were quite a few of you that were disappointed. Now,
we've had a little rummage.
I have perhaps had a little shenanigate. Some of them might not strictly have been the end of a bolt. I might have been able to load two, but that is it. Because I'll get shot if she finds out. She's in Cornwall with the children and she's really busy, so hey, she won't find out. Be fine. You watch your comment in a minute and be like, morning! But I've got a select few bolt ends.
Look at these.
They are big chunky pieces. They're all 3 metres bar one, which Jane will show you the difference.
Yeah.
And look at this. So these are beautiful.
These are great stash builders. It's always nice to have a bit of batik in your stash. They're really useful fabrics to have. Not just for applique projects, really but borders and within your project, or quilt backings, which is why we've given you 3 metre pieces. 3 metres works really well on a single quilt size backing. So this is a lovely green, and it's sort of like almost mauvey and brown mottles in this. So it's got a lot going on there, so you could have really good fun with your piecing on that because you'll get a different style and colourway each time. Then we've got this beautiful turquoise. That is lovely. That's really going to be useful for like your seaside projects.
So stunning, isn't it?
It's just gorgeous. You can imagine this colour and a white made into a quilt, just beautiful. This is a deep blue. This is a slightly smaller piece. This is 2.5 metres, but that's a lovely rich deep blue on there. Lots of shading in there that will give you lots of different things. Batiks are really lovely for your binding as well because they give you a nice, again, different shading which can look quite nice on your binding. This is a lovely sort of mauvey blue, but again it's got this brown gold sort of mottle going through it. Almost sort of like gemstone-y.
Gorgeous.
It's really gorgeous, this one. This is a beautiful plum colour. Really rich. These are smoke batiks, so they've got like a mottledy effect on all of them. This is a purple with like almost a sort of cerise colour going through there. It's quite bright. Lots of shading in that one. That'll be beautiful.
That was one of the fastest to go last. In fact, the purples in general were fast to go last time.
They're really
we know
useful.
You like a purple.
Yeah, we do love a purple. This is a nice bright sort of primary red. Really lovely rich colour on there. And then this is like a deep pink cerise colour. Gorgeous. So those are those.
Beautiful. Jane,
lots of different colours there. Lots of different uses. Great to have in your stash. They'll always come in handy. Borders, binding, backing, wonderful.
Now, for my money, you see the blues, I'd be popping those into being some kind of fabulous beach bag and using your block.
Oh yeah, great for bag linings.
To make a really impactful, bag
super.
Front. Be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
really
absolutely
beautiful.
Lovely.
But there are plentiful options there for you. Jane, I feel, before we do all things pumpkin-y as well, we need to do the thing we do every week.
Yes, every Wednesday we're going to show you the half-metre heavens that go live at midnight tonight for Thursday.
When we've done all this admin, then we can say hello to everybody. Then we can show you all the pumpkin-y fabulousness in all the world, because I've seen in the comments there's a load of love for pumpkins and some Halloween love as well.
Ooh.
And as much as this month's block was designed by Jane as a harvest block,
I didn't want to go down
between a pumpkin and
I didn't want to go down too much down the Halloweeny route, but we introduced the pumpkins.
Yeah.
Because I know not everybody is too much into Halloween.
Seems like everyone that's on today loves it. So you've got options with pumpkins, and that's what's beautiful. It's like, you can probably see, hopefully you can see, Natasha's bowl there. She calls these her fabric gourds. She used to have this big metal bowl in her hall, in her house, full of real gourds. And they look beautiful for ages. Then all of a sudden there's a strange smell.
Yes, and they go a little bit...
And they go whammy, I think is the word we go for. These don't go whammy, because they are made of fabric and they're fabulous. So we'll have a look at those in a little while. But first, Jane, the first one's got no quantity on it because I keep playing with how many we can do. We need to cut that bolt up and check.
Yeah, we'll sort that one.
But the half-metre heavens are our weekly deal. They go live at midnight tonight. So everything else we're showing you, you'll be able to purchase today, except these. Midnight tonight, you get a half metre of your fabric, your designer fabric, and a half metre of your plain, so a metre deal total.
So Natasha did these before she left yesterday. So Natasha goes through the designer fabric and she finds a beautiful plain.
She does.
That is going to coordinate stunningly with your fabric, because it's not always easy to see online the colours, the true colours. So we have a look at the fabrics and we choose a nice plain that we are confident will complement your patterned fabric. So we've got a beautiful piece of Lisa Chandler here. I was just going to say it's upside down, but it's a sort of pattern that actually works anyway.
Yeah.
Because those face down, those face up, that one goes down, that one goes up. So I haven't got it upside down. It's one of those multi-directional fabrics, which is gorgeous. So we all know the quality of Lisa's fabric. It's got the beautiful metallics running through it. Beautiful shades of oranges and this lovely green. And the green that we've put with it is our moss.
Yes.
Which picks up the deeper green within the leaves, because Lisa's fabric has got lots of shading in it. You don't just get orange on the flowers. There's several shades of orange. There's a bit of selvage here, but you can't see. But the selvage with the colour dots is, there's lots of it, lots of shades in there. Beautiful fabrics. So we've got some of that with our lovely moss. It's on a brown background as well, which sort of gives it a really rich autumnal tone to it, with the oranges and the golds in there. It's lovely. That's a large floral, isn't it?
Yes. So that's the Under the Aussie Sun floral.
Yes.
So there's different collections within Lisa's fabrics. The Under the Australian Sun fabrics I love.
Yeah, they're
beautiful. Really love them. They're big, impactful
and
flowers.
The thing with Lisa's designs is she's a botanical artist. So these are actual size. The print on here is the size that the flowers are in real life, which is always nice to know. And so the combinations are all there. So we've got a little bit of beach huts here. This is Lewis and Irene coastal fabric. And Natasha's put that with a lovely red. Now, is it red or is it scarlet?
It's cardinal.
Cardinal.
Yeah, cardinal.
It's one of our new colours, cardinal.
Would make the most fantastic bucket hat, this one.
Or beach bag.
Yeah,
because
great.
Natasha's beach bag pattern.
We have got no teeth in today, either of us. All the words are there, Jane, but we are...
Not necessarily in the right order.
We don't have them. They've gone.
Uses a ½ metre of fabric is what I'm trying to say. So
2.5 metres is the thing for the beach bag. Yeah. Absolutely. Grab yourself some Styleville fix and Natasha's instructions. It is an easy make. It's one of the first things my friend Vicky made after the infinity scarf, and she was so, so proud, and rightly so. It is a brilliant make.
Love a beach hut. Got some Tilda here. This is Tilda Bloomsville. This is late bloomer. I love this colour.
There will be no more of this fabric.
This is it persimmon? This persimmon?
Hot
I can't say it.
I want to say it's tomato. Yeah.
Yes, tomato.
Late bloomer tomato.
So it's a lovely soft red colour. Well, the Tilda reds that we all know and love. Yes. And then it's got this lovely turquoise running through it, which Natasha has chosen our aqua. Yes, our aqua to go with that, which just pulls those blues and makes the pinks pop, which is unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's lovely. That goes nicely with that. I love a bit of Tilda.
It's stunning. I love this one, and I just... Yeah, I'm a bit sad that this is the last of that fabric, because that colourway is really special.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love that tomatoey colour with those beautiful teals and everything else. It seems a bit brave, really. Wouldn't be your first thought to put them together, but they
no, you
just
might be
work.
safe with the pinks and the tomato colour.
This one's a reload, Jane. We had a very small amount of this arrive, and we put it up, and it went out in milliseconds. So I have cut all of what's left on the bolt. This is it. If you loved discs, you missed out on it before, then this is going to be your opportunity tonight to get it, because then it's gone.
You may guess that this is a bit of Kaif. Lovely bright colours, and the lime just sets off this pink background. Just juicy, lovely. So
stunning.
As we always say, these won't be on the website yet. They go live at midnight tonight, and we know you. We know what you like. We see you. 2 minutes past 12, if not sooner, the orders start coming in. This is another little bit of Kaif. This is Checkmate, and this colourway is called Pink, which is beautiful. That's going to make a gorgeous bag. Imagine having a bag lined with that fabric, and you just open your bag and people go, what?
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And this is with our Royal, which is a beautiful purple tone blue, and it just picks up this stripe that's running through here really nicely.
Do you know as well, Jane, the beautiful thing about the Kaif fabrics is that he works on the same colour palettes, doesn't he? You know,
yes, so they all blend beautifully.
Exactly. So if you have got a brilliant stash of Kaif, this is going to be a really useful addition to mix and match with some of your others.
Can you imagine making binding with this fabric?
It'd be incredible,
that would
wouldn't
be
it?
Stunning, wouldn't it? So that's with Royal. Then we've got some more Kaif here. This is Coleus Dark. Now this is rather rich, and I think we might find that Natasha's used Coleus for her pumpkins, hasn't she? It's a different shade. I think that's melons, actually.
That's pumpkins. That's watermelons, yeah.
Watermelons.
But we have used this before. There we go.
It's in its stalk. But yeah.
That's a Coleus.
So you can see how those tones of fabric would work beautifully with the pumpkin pattern. And we've put terracotta with this, which just adds to the richness of it all.
Brilliant,
Look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful. You could make a lovely cushion with that and bind it, pipe it with this terracotta. Would make it look stunning.
Beautiful.
Then we've got some caladiums, and this is another one that would make great pumpkins. It's almost like Natasha knew what we were doing.
I know.
And this is with our, I think that's Baltic, isn't it? Yes, it is. Look at that, that just brings, this is lovely teals and greens with gold colours in there. And then our Baltic just pulls all this colour here. It's just lovely, and it makes the gold colour, pop. So yeah, that's rather nice.
Stunning. I absolutely adore that one, Jane. That is, you know.
And then there's some more caladiums here. Now this is pinks and purples, and this is rather
again, both
gorgeous.
of these are the last of the bolts. So if you love either of these last two fabrics, that's it. That's our lot. Done.
Yes. You've had your chance, as Inga would say.
Yeah, exactly.
That's with our purple. I was just checking to see whether that was purple or imperial. That's purple, which just, the deeper tone of that just sets it all off really nicely.
Stunning.
Again, beautiful cushion with piped or bound edge. Just
gorgeous.
Make the most of the fabric as it is, because it's just lovely. There we go. So those are our half-metre heavens that,
amazing,
as we say, go live at midnight tonight. We have got other half-metre heavens. There's a few left from previous weeks, so have a good rummage. When you go onto the website, you'll see 3. There's a little button on the side that says view all. Click on that and then it will show you everything that we've got.
Definitely, because otherwise you'll miss out on some as well.
There's some gorgeous, you know, we've not got many, but there's some really lovely ones still from previous weeks. So I see them on the shelves and I think people aren't seeing those. They're not seeing them.
No, but we have mentioned the Halloween pumpkin here. So Natasha's fabric there, some of those, that'd be quite good for those. But we've got here the pattern to show you. So if we go overhead, Jane, we'll have a little look. Jane's had a look at the template this morning.
Yes, we had a look at the template. I said, do fat quarters with that. So if you get your half-metre heavens, you're going to have plenty.
So I'll give you 3 different sizes here, the Halloween pumpkin pattern. And we call it Halloween pumpkin, but like we say, these are Natasha's fabric gourds and they look great all the way through autumn.
Yeah, that's a large size.
Whole year I'll stay out, don't they?
Yeah, that's a large.
Yes.
That's the medium. And then we've got the teensy tiny one. They're a little bit dusty, Emma.
Well, yes.
Oh, and Natasha's used cinnamon sticks.
Yes, so we have options here. Now,
that's the small one.
What I'm doing just now, and that will be up in a moment, is a fat quarter trio. So we have these amazing Lewis and Irene fabrics from the Cast a Spell collection, don't we, Jane?
We do. Now
what I'm doing here is you'll get a fat quarter trio. I'm calling it an infinity scarf kit because that's what we tend to do, and because here's one I made earlier.
Gemma made that in about 3 seconds flat. 10 minutes ago.
It was less than 10 minutes before the show. In fact, I sewed it together wrong to start with, had to quickly unpick it, and it was still done within 10 minutes. So you could make your infinity scarf out of this. Okay, infinity scarf instructions are available separately. A lot of them, you've got them already. You've told us that you love them, which is great. You can get those digitally and you can get them in printed format as well. Alternatively, what I'm going to do with this here is you're going to get some cinnamon sticks. So a little trio of cinnamon sticks will be free with these today. You can either just enjoy the aroma of those and make your infinity scarf, or if you do decide to make your Halloween pumpkins and you get your instructions, then you can pop those into the centre as you see, and you get that lovely look of a little rustic stalk there.
And it also adds a really, I mean, these still smell of cinnamon and they've been out
beautiful, aren't they?
For a couple of years now.
However, some of you may have seen the plastic ones here and think, well, I quite like those actually. I think they're marvellous. And they are marvellous, Jane, aren't they?
They are.
We have
they're really
very
good.
Few of these bundles as well.
There's all different sizes and shapes in there, different colours as well. There's 5 in this bundle, but I think there's 6, isn't there, in the ones that we've...
Yes, there should be a 6th one lurking in there, is it not in the bag?
It's escaped.
Natasha's had that away then.
She'll have used that for her own colours.
Personal stash.
You can see Natasha's used it on that one there.
Yep.
And simply a case of jabbing it into the middle, or you could cut the pokey bit off and stick it on with a hot glue gun.
Bit of hot glue is always your friend.
So, yeah, just adds a little bit more realism to your pumpkin, but the cinnamon sticks add a little bit of scent to the area while you're making them. So we've got a few of those left, not very many.
Jane, we've been very, very rude and we've not chatted to everyone this morning, really. We've been gabbing on about
ignoring
what
people.
We have, because we've got so many good things. But I feel we need to just say hi to everybody. Martin says every day is Halloween. We've got Joy and Jimmy. Karen says, love, love, love Halloween. I bought loads of Halloween fabric at festival, which means we will see some Halloween frocks soon.
Oh,
Can't wait for that.
That'll be lovely.
Sylv spotted that as well and said we'll see some spooky dresses. We will. Sue says, is Auntie Jane going to take in quilts for her long arm?
Well, not just yet.
You're playing,
still
aren't you,
practicing.
Yeah.
Haven't had much chance to practice, if I'm honest. Life's got in the way a little bit, but I'm getting there. but I'm not confident enough to take other people's precious projects just yet. To do. I will do eventually, but I need a lot more practice first.
But there are lovely long armours out there who we use and recommend. You know,
we've got
Amanda's
Amanda
on our website. John is around as well. You know, there are brilliant long armours everywhere. So it's definitely worth doing. I'm so chuffed with mine that was done. Karen says quite possibly on the spooky dress front, of course.
Yeah.
Susan Moore says that the quilt is beautiful. It is
Thank
beautiful.
you.
We're very pleased with it. It's great.
We do love it.
Erica says, morning Gemma and Jane, and thank you for your help with getting the January block sorted.
Yes.
Very welcome. You're very welcome. Oh, apparently at 10:10 we were talking about cake. I don't even notice anymore.
No, we always talk about cake. That's all we ever talk
Did
about.
We? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even recall the conversation about cake. Yeah, the block's there. That's got cake on it. Perhaps that's what she means.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Sylv's coming up with all sorts of style ideas for Karen with her frocks. There we go. Claire Angelina says, I'm still getting the hang of applique. I need to invest in Bondaweb or Misty Fuse as pinning doesn't quite do the trick. Oh, my word. No, you're making life very difficult for yourself, I feel. And sometimes it's not even investment, it's just a necessity. It's just
let's just make life easier, you know. Don't make life difficult for yourself. If there's something out there that helps,
someone said to me a long time ago, time is money. Even if what you're doing is a hobby activity, if it means you get it done more efficiently and you feel better about it all and it gets it done, that gives you time to do other things, whether that be something that can earn you money or just something that, you know, something else.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you can buy something that saves you time and makes a job easier, it's worth its weight in gold. And that's exactly the case. The kit that we're doing for this month's block, we've put the Bondaweb in.
Yes, get that included.
We do sell Bondaweb separately. You can buy that from us. Absolutely, you can.
And the steamer seam, don't we?
Steamer seam as well. So there's always options. And yeah, that's seriously, that's the thing that you need for sure. Oh, we've also got comments of, wow, how much I'm eyeing up the dark red and purple. Those bolt ends are 25% off. Exactly. Is yesterday's pattern going to be done in digital? Yes, it most certainly is. We've got to do the final print-offs and checks for that. Halloween forever, says Martin. This is the theme running here.
A bit of Halloween.
Yeah, passes Gemma a tube of denture fix. I think we both need that this morning.
We do.
We have spent the morning talking gibberish to each other. We'll say something, look at each other and go, that's not what we're meant to say.
No, that isn't how it came out. That's how it wasn't in my brain before I said it. It's terrible.
It's been a long week already. We're quite tired. I think festival and everything's just caught up with us. Jane, you had a busy weekend. Not festivaling.
No.
But you did a Beauty and the Beast experience, didn't you?
Yeah, we did like a treasure hunt immersive experience. It was so fun. It was so much fun. I bought it for Charlie, my daughter-in-law, for her birthday. And it was like there was a team of us, and we dressed up in characters. So I was Mrs. Potts,
which I love. I love that you were Mrs. Potts. That's
little
perfect.
Iris came with us, and she, of course, was dressed in the Belle ball gown.
Of course she was.
While her mummy was dressed in the blue Belle before she goes to the ball.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like a treasure hunt.
No, very important part here. How was your husband dressed?
Oh, he was Luminaire.
He was Luminaire.
Bless him, he just gets on with it and just joins in. He was like, I said, are you going to dress up like we are? And he was like, yeah, I suppose. And I said, it's all right, I've got your costume sorted.
He looked fantastic as Lumiere.
I made him a little hat with a candle on in the middle, all out of funky foam type stuff, and then some cuffs that went over his hands. So he had like candles on each hand, but they slid down so that he could still use his hand. And then his hat with his. But the weather wasn't so good, so we didn't wear our costumes very much. We had photo opportunity, and that was it.
Yeah.
But we had good fun, and it was like a treasure hunt. So we had to solve clues and find things, and
it was great.
And solve the mystery. It was really good fun.
Fab. And the costumes were brilliant.
Yeah, we did have fun.
I burst out laughing when I saw him as Lumiere. It looked amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And we wonder why our son's a drama.
I know.
Drama.
Exactly.
Actor.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. Oh gosh, there's all sorts of people saying hello. Can I ask what the soft toy is on the shelf to the left of... Oh, there we go. There it is.
This one.
There we are. Yes.
Our little sheepy treat.
This is the sheepy treat.
He's our PIF 23.
So that's our Pay It Forward.
He's so cute.
Project 23, sheepy treat. Tash did that one at the end of last month. That was her show.
Yeah.
So she launched the new one and she demonstrated that one. So you can get that kit now.
Yeah, they're there.
You can. Absolutely. Very, very popular, that one. Oh, Rona Mills with us. She says, good morning, everyone. I keep meaning to ask, Lisa's last Baltimore quilt, was it ever finished? And if so, when was it? Rona.
Oh, we got a treat.
We decided that we wanted someone very special to do the finishing show for the Baltimore. I'm going to leave that just there, hovering. Just for your own personal processing. Because she might have been in the country recently. So that is with our tech team. It will be up at some point, for sure, as a pre-record. Yes. There was no time to do it as a live show, but we wanted it to be done by the lady herself.
With the person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Elaine says, sorry I'm late, but just in time for beautiful fabrics. Brenda says, morning, ladies. Morning. And Ginny says, good morning, everyone, worldwide. Sorry I'm late. Hello from a sunny day in Melbourne, Australia. Send some our way, will you? Because
it's not too bad today.
I know, but it was promising a glorious weekend, and now apparently it's just today and tomorrow, and then it's going to rain.
Oh, there's a surprise.
I know. It's been constant. I blame Jane.
Quite autumnal this morning, to be honest. It was very misty.
I put my autumnal colours on. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband designed flight controls for aircraft, says Sue Langford. And she says, he always says, buy the right tool for the job. It's so true.
It is.
If you were trying to do this kind of applique with no bonding agent, that's not helpful, is it?
Yeah, there's a very, very tiny piece in this block. If you didn't have Bondaweb, you'd go mad.
Yes. It'd be like trying to get a cake to rise with no rising agents.
It's
true. There are ways to do things and ways to not do things, and yes, absolutely. So we salute you, Claire Angelina, for trying to find other ways around it, but sometimes it is just best to bow down and say, I need to have the best tool for the job.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's all sorts of things. You'll just a hemming web, anything, just a bonding agent of some form, because otherwise you'll do your own head in, and that's not a thing.
No.
Oh, Elaine Padmore says, I will be buying him/her. Your choice on the sheepy treat.
Yes.
Whether it's a him/her. Oh gosh, she's making a chessboard with 32 chess pieces. She's done 16, but she's losing the will to live. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
You're setting yourself up then for this is the thing. If you use the right equipment, it makes it enjoyable as well. Suddenly, my sympathy's wearing out. Lady, just crack on, sort yourself out and get what you need, because you drive yourself bonkers. Oh, bless you. No, that's no fun at all. Don't do that. No, it's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Jane, I have got another piece of fabric here. These, I just think Jane needs to very quickly show you, especially as you're loving the Halloween, because these are the last bits we've got, and there's nothing left on this bolt, really. Very little.
This is last season's Lewis and Irene, isn't it? Yeah. Because we have got the bag book panel as well from this season.
Yes.
You get a repeat. I think we worked it out. It just goes, I'm just trying to look at this here. I think it goes up there, doesn't it? It just misses that width. It's not quite a half metre.
I think we do it by an 18-inch increment. Yeah. So it's 45 centimetres.
I think we cut up it a little bit generously. There, just so it's on this side of the tube stone. Really good fun. Double-sided border, so it would make a great bag.
Yes, for sure.
For your trick-or-treating.
It really would.
Lovely cushion. Skirt,
Just saying.
Little girl's pillowcase dress.
Yeah.
You'd need 2 units, but yeah. You could buy what was left on there and have that as a super table covering.
Honestly, me and my sneezes, I'm sorry.
It's the dust. We've got lots.
The fibres. We're not even dusty.
It's fabric.
Jane and I have been in crazy cleaning mode.
I think
there's definitely no dust kicking around.
I think Natasha thought we were nesting or something. She came in and she was just like, what have you done to my studio?
We had to reassure her that neither of us has a uterus, because seriously, it was like we were pregnant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the very last little bit.
So that's the orange colourway. So we've got the green colourway and the orange colourway.
Yes.
So that's the last little bit of that one. 2 units on there.
It's lovely, isn't it?
But if you're into the Halloween, there's still some of the Halloween bag panels.
Yes, there are.
Which is this time's Lewis and Irene, this season's Lewis and Irene.
We'll make sure that all of these products are available for you to have a look at and peruse and purchase on our website. Jane, we have right here the kit, however.
Yes.
I'm not going to put the book out for you because you know exactly what's in that kit. Oh, and this is just to let everyone know, if you want to make your pumpkins, your fabric pumpkins, we've got toy filling, but the most essential part is a doll needle.
Yeah.
Doll making needle. Trust me, this is another moment actually of having what you need. Do not try to make a fabric pumpkin without one of these. Jane, can we go close up actually, because they are massive, aren't they? I think people don't necessarily appreciate.
They're a great. They're a strong.
They're a strong long needle.
Long needle. Yeah. Some people might refer to them as mattress needles as well. Yeah. But they're long, strong. They've got a big eye in them, so you can get thick thread through them, and they save your fingers, because if you try to do it with an ordinary needle, you're going to, again.
You're also going to have quite a lot of bulk there when you're making this, so you're going to need to get that through. And no, it's too
makes life better.
You need the length there for sure.
So yeah, get those in your basket, because they're what you're going to need for the pumpkins and any toy making that you might do. If you do the Tilda toys, these will come in handy as well.
Perfect.
So yeah, they're great. So we've got all of the things for toy making, toy stuffing, and all of that sort of thing. Perfect.
It was one of those moments, wasn't it, Jane, where we thought, we've got to be sensible, we've got to show you, just sensible amounts of things, and then we were like, we can't choose, we can't do it, but there's no choosing to be done. Dear me.
So let's make today's block, shall we? Let's show you the kit, because there's some beautiful batiks in here. You've got your pattern, it's got all of the templates for the bonded applique as well as the pumpkins. The pumpkins is done, it's gone out of my head. Said it earlier, for the padded applique. Thank you.
It's all right. I'm just glad I got it right, Jane, to be honest. It could have gone wrong.
Step by step, all the information you need. And then, as always, we tell you how to finish it. So if you want to make it as an individual block, if you're making it for the quilt, we will do the finishing of the quilt after we've done the following month after December's block. We'll go through all the finishing and how to put it together. And this is about how to make the sleeve if you're going to make it into an individual hanging. The kit has got 2 skeins of embroidery floss, because there's a little French knot for the bird's eye, and then I did hand embroidered sort of like a squiggly line for the pumpkins. I'm going to take this off the hanging and just bring that in close.
Living dangerously here.
So that you can maybe see it a little bit. Maybe not. Can we go close up on that?
Yeah, of course we can. She says. You can if the button actually works. It always helps, doesn't it?
There we go. Can you see? It's a little bit of hand embroidery there. You can do that on machine if you don't like hand stitching. You don't even have to do it if you don't want to. You could use a fabric marker and just draw it on. And then, as I say, the little bird, he's got a little French knot for his eye. He's a crow. Yes, he's got a yellow beak, but, artistic license going on here, girls and boys.
All right.
We'll do that. And then we've got sparkly fabric for the moon.
I think he looks nice with his beak.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you can have a bit of artistic license.
Yeah, you can. Because we all know the crows have got the same colour beak as their bodies,
but shh.
He's just a very big blackbird, if you like.
That's all right. Doesn't have to be a crow, does it?
No.
There
we go. All that rummaging. So you get your 2 skeins of thread, and obviously you can see by the amount of embroidery that's on there, that's a very generous amount of thread, 2 full skeins. You get a scrap, it's about 3-inch square, but it may be smaller, maybe slightly bigger, of yellow for the beak. 5-inch-ish square of the slightly glittery blender. It's got a little bit of a glitter to it. We used it in the Frosty Flakes block, and we've used it for the seashells as well, and we're using that for the moon.
Marvellous.
Plain black
to have that continuity actually, Jane, across the blocks, isn't it? That little bit there. That's
plain
gorgeous.
Black, again, 5-inch-ish square of black for your bird. And then we've got long quarters. And again, this is way more than you actually need for your pumpkins. So we've got this lovely soft yellow, batik, the amber colour and the orange. Those are the 3 colours that I used for my pumpkins. This colour, the orange, is the one I've used for the binding or the frame of the block. So you've got enough in there for your pumpkins and your binding framing. And then you've got your green for the base of the block and this lovely sort of bluey grey colour, sort of almost dusk but not quite grey autumn sky. And you'll have enough to make 2 blocks should you want to. And you'll have a little bit left over of your green to make your leaves and the stalks for your pumpkins.
Marvellous.
So those are all the fabrics. And then as we said, we've included the Bonder web.
Sorry, Jane.
It's okay.
Every now and again, someone comments something and I can't ignore it. Sylv says, you said a very big black bird, and captions came out with a very big black burger, which even for us is a little bit early, and Jane's a vegetarian.
Well, a veggie one.
And not cooking it well if it's black. Too well.
Too well barbecued. And you're going to get a scrap, and it's about a 10-inch square. It may be bigger, it may be small, slightly smaller, but about that size to do your padded applique. So just a piece of wadding. And that's all included in your kit to make your block.
Oh, beautiful. It's a great kit.
So everything for the block front and binding frame.
Brilliant. We've got an introductory price on it today. Sue Langford says, I spied on JCM's live feed that Lisa has some fabulous butterflies and my favourite border fabric. Blah, 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 blah. Now, have we got some on the way? We've had that. The butterfly fabric.
Yeah, we've had the butterfly. We've had it. It's been and gone, I'm afraid, because it was very popular.
Had it, used it, had it in again, used it. And Lisa's fabrics, yeah, we might get some in the future. I don't think we've got any on order at the moment.
Quite a few of them are discontinued.
Some are discontinued.
Because we've got some of her fabrics we can't get anymore. There was one of the Melba border stripes we couldn't get.
We've got some that Lisa hasn't got as well. I think it was the flowering gum in the lilac she saw and went, oh my gosh, you've still got this. Oh my gosh, I haven't got any.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, crafty bolt that wasn't loaded. But
yes,
just
it's
sitting in the back there.
Bolt,
It's nice that we've got it and she hasn't. So yes, if there are Lisa fabrics that you love, don't assume they'll be around forever because they're not always.
No, and some of her designs she's discontinued because she's bringing out, well, she's hoping to bring out new lines, isn't she? Yeah. She was talking about new designs when we met her last week.
She was, and I'm not sure how much we can say. Sylv is blaming the weather on St Swithin because it rained non-stop on St Swithin's Day. It
did.
You keep saying this.
It did. It was our little Iris's christening day and we were hoping that it wouldn't rain, and unfortunately it did, and we were like, oh no!
And it's done nothing but rain since.
Yeah.
Jane, there's a little sneaky thing behind my laptop that people might have seen.
Oh.
This is a pumpkin cutting kit, the little tool kit. So I'm just going to shenanigate those, make sure they're available.
Pumpkin carving.
So if you actually want to carve, they've got all these little tools. Just while Jane's doing her demonstrating, I should have a little look and see what we can do on the price of those.
Lovely. Right, so let's get on and make said kit, shall we?
Yeah.
As I said, you'll get your templates in there. I've put them all in reverse so that you've got them in the right orientation. Now let's talk about the making the block background. You'll cut, the instructions are all there for the pieces of fabric you're going to cut. Now you make this block slightly bigger, the background slightly bigger than you actually need, and if you read through, all I always say is read through the instructions first before you start. This will come out bigger than you actually need, so think about that when you start to put your fabrics on, because you're going to trim it down after you've quilted it. I always think that once you've quilted something, it sort of pulls it in a little bit, so quilt it and then trim it.
Okay.
So just think about that when you put your stuff on. Don't put your moon right up in the corner here. Not only do you need to think about your seam allowance, but you're going to trim some down. So just bring him in and your pumpkins in. You know, don't think, oh right, I'm right on the edge here, I'll just leave my seam allowance and I'll be fine, because you'll be trimming it down and it'll be upsetting if you realise that you haven't got enough space.
Yeah, you wouldn't be happy about that,
no,
would you?
You'd be upset. So the bonded, the padded applique. I've done that for the pumpkins. There's 3 sizes of pumpkins. We did a stack and then we did one on his own with the bird sitting on it. Again, you can do as many or as few pumpkins as you want to. You can do lots of stacks, you can do a couple, you can just do one pumpkin with the bird sitting on it. It's entirely up to you. I've done a design and a pattern, but you can add to, take away from, whatever you want to do. Now, in my instructions, I say about using interfacing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just show you on my block again. When I used interfacing, I realised that actually, no matter how carefully you try to do it, you can have the interfacing showing through. If we can go close up on
yeah, of course.
You'll get some of the interfacing. Can you just see on the edge there? It's just showing through. Now, you can use interfacing, and if you're really bothered by this, you get a coloured fabric marker and you just run that round the edge and it'll make it disappear. Or you can be a little bit more careful and pull your interfacing in before you sew it down onto your block. I don't think it does too much to the finished effect of it, but it might bother you a little bit if you use interfacing. So you've got enough fabric to do the method, but using fabric rather than interfacing is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that way, when you turn it through, you won't, and you apply it onto your background, you won't get the interfacing showing through. You'll just see the fabric, so you won't get any of that white mark.
To the untrained eye, many people would look at that and think it's how it's supposed to be, like a little white edging, just to add a little detail. And I would embrace it as that, to be honest.
So
sometimes it's best.
Yeah, just go with that. So trace your pumpkin shape onto your fabric. Trace it through. Use a light box, put the template up to the window, put the fabric over the top, trace it through, whichever way you want to do it. Have it that way. It's not very easy to tell the right and the wrong side on batik. Sometimes it's a little bit sort of fuzzier on the wrong side. Mm-hmm. What you need to do is you need to put your wadding down, put the right side of your fabric facing upwards, and then your the fabric with the template showing you've drawn around.
Right.
Okay. So this would be in the instructions. This is the interfacing, this top bit. But as I said, I've decided that it would be better if you used fabric because you won't get that mark. Then you're going to sew around your drawn.
Oh, hang on, you're slightly off camera there, Jane.
Sorry.
Only ever so slightly.
You're going to sew
there you go.
around that marked line where we trace around the template.
Marvellous.
So you're sewing around the whole thing. Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Just take your time. Just adjust your fabric as you go around when you've got a curve. And do a few stitches. Lift your foot, turn it. The thing is, it doesn't matter too much if you don't stay on your line, because nobody knows where the line is other than you, and pumpkins aren't, symmetrical or whatever.
No, they're really not.
So we're now going to trim this about 1/4 inch away from that sewn line through all the layers. So 2 layers of fabric and the layer of wadding. Trim that all the way around. So you've you've got a good 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. Then I'm going to take it round to the wadding side, and I'm going to trim my wadding back right up as close as I can without obviously snipping into the stitches. Just take that out of the seam allowance. This will give you a smoother finish when you come to turn it through. Reduces the bulk in the seam and helps it to lie flatter against your project. Obviously you're going to take your time and be a little bit neater than I am. But the easy snips, EZ snips, they're really good for this sort of thing.
Poor SJ, I'll never live that down.
She won't, will she? Bless her.
EZ snips.
So you've trimmed that now, so that's my line of stitching. I've trimmed that as close as I can to that stitching. It's just to reduce the bulk in the seam. I'm going to turn it round to the other side. Now I've got little bits here, and you could just snip around your curves if you wanted to. Again, just be careful that you don't snip into your stitches. This again will just help it sort of lie smoother, flatter when you turn it through. So if you're using interface, and if you decide you don't want to use your precious Batik fabric for the back of your applique, which isn't going to be shown,
who can blame you?
You know, we're not going to criticise you for doing that. You're going to lift that away from the front fabric and the wadding. Just have to feel it through. If you were using interface, and you can obviously see it, but you just need to separate the two fabrics apart. So if you can see, I've done that. I've brought that top fabric there away, and I'm going to snip into that top fabric carefully, making sure that I don't snip through the bottom layer as well. And about an inchish, maybe a bit bigger, and then I can just pull the wadding and the top fabric through that gap and smooth. If you've got a turning tool, it's an ideal time to use that, just to smooth those edges out. Roll it with your fingers just to roll the seam through. You can use your scissors as well, or a pencil, just to poke those seams out, just making sure that it's all pulled through. And when you're happy with that, you can then place those, and you'll make all your pumpkins. You can see I've done 2 orange ones, and then I've got my amber one, and then my pale yellow one. You can do them in any order you want to. You know, it's entirely up to you. It's your design. So you can create as many pumpkins, different stack of pumpkins, however you want to do it. But that's the basic technique for the padded applique. So once you've done that, you can place that on your design. Just going to reach across you, Gemma, and grab the pins.
That's all right. You just tell me if you need me to pass you anything. That's okay. All.
Pin those in place when you're happy with where they're going to be. Just pin them in place, and then you'll probably want to put a walking foot on your machine, but then you can sew those down in place. And when you're sewing these, this is when you then create your sort of segments of your pumpkin.
Jane, that looks so tactile. I just want to squish it.
Yes, it is very squishy.
Squish being a technical term,
yeah,
obviously.
Absolutely.
Just looking at it thinking, oh, hello.
So,
and that's the lovely thing about this quilt, actually, is there's quite a few textures.
Yeah, there's different textures and things. So
children are going to love this one.
Yeah. So just very carefully around the edge.
There are a lot of textures, but at the same time everything's sewn down well, so You know, I think everyone knows the story of young Emily pulling all the bobbles off beautiful things that Natasha's made. Everything's sewn down securely on this, isn't it, Jane?
Yes, yeah. There's hopefully there's no dangers of little fingers picking things off and putting them in their mouth.
One would hope not.
So just quite close to the edge, sewing this to the background fabrics. Just take your time, moving the fabric. Don't forget, if you're feeling a little bit in the corner, just stop, adjust your fabrics. Don't feel that you've got to do it all in one go. It's quite easy to just stop, adjust your fabrics, and then go again. So I started sort of at the middle of the pumpkin.
Okay.
So in that bit there, and then just, and if you're feeling unsure, you can use your fabric marker and just mark some shapes, but just a gentle curve, just to sort of denote those segments going round. And you can go to the next sort of dimple bit there. You can come back. Now I can take my pin out because it's securely fastened to the, because I've sewn it. Just do a segment that comes round like that, back up to the top. I might just do just one that comes round like that.
Jane Farmer Ali's with us on YouTube, and she says, good morning all, I'm not a whizzy sewer and I love Jane's slow sewing. I have to say there is a time and a place for whizzy sewing, and this, I would say, is probably not it. There is nothing wrong with slowing down.
Sorry, I changed it.
It's all right. Nothing wrong with slowing things down at crucial moments like this, is there?
So you can see I've just taken the line. I could have come, when I came back down here, I could have gone up again if I'd wanted to. Just have a look at it, see how you feel, draw it on with your fabric marker if that makes you feel happier with it, that's fine. You know, there's no right and wrong. And that just gives the texture then.
Symmetry, because
no, because they're not symmetrical.
You wouldn't get straight symmetrical lines on an actual pumpkin.
No.
You wouldn't at all, so just don't get bogged down with that. Also, Jane, we have a comment from Norma.
Hello, Norma.
YouTube. Norma says, morning ladies, I've just tuned in. I love Jane's quilt, particularly the November block, which is my birthday month. Can you tell me when that block will be available, please? In a month.
Yeah.
In a month's time.
This time next month.
This time next month. So it'll be made in September, ready for November display.
So bonded applique is your next part. So the bird, the stalks and the moon are just bonded applique. So once you've got your pumpkins on, your bonded applique, your bonder web is an adhesive sheet. It's got a paper side to it, and it's got a rough side, which is the adhesive. You trace your shape onto the paper side, pencil, pen, whatever you want to use. Just trace that onto the paper side. You can trim your paper down. Don't cut on the drawn line, just cut around the shape. So you can trim it just so that you're around the edge. If you don't want to waste your paper. I mean, this sort of project is when keeping all your little tiny pieces of bonder web that you've had left over from other projects is ideal, because these size pieces, you know, little offcuts like this, that would do the bird's wing. Smaller pieces like this would do the stalks. You know,
yeah, waste not, want not.
This, you know, you might think, oh, when you cut something out, you might think, oh, there's no point in keeping that. But actually, you'd be surprised how many little shapes you can get out of a piece like this. It's always worth keeping those offcuts if you can. So you take your fabric that you're going to apply your shape to.
Yes.
Onto the reverse of that fabric, you place your bonder web with the rough side, the adhesive side, facing the wrong side of your fabric.
And Jane, with bonder web, you quite often have to trace things in reverse, don't you? But we've made the we have put the templates already in reverse for you.
In reverse, so that you don't have to worry about it.
Ah, isn't that good?
So we then take the iron. Now you might want to get one of our Teflon sheets. Protect your iron, protect your fabric. This is adhesive. It does, the whole point of it is, as the heat is applied, it spreads, which is one of the reasons why we don't cut actually on the line of the shape that we want. You might want to protect your iron, so put a Teflon sheet or baking parchment between the Bondaweb and your iron. But just place it down. You don't need to use steam with Bondaweb, you can use a dry iron. So just bonding that down. Obviously be careful of your fingers, keep your fingers out the way, and as soon as you've ironed it, just be careful because it still feels warm. It might be worth just leaving it a few seconds to cool down before you actually cut it. Give time for the glue to sort of set. And then you'll cut it out along the drawn line. And again, don't worry too much about your cutting out if you're a little bit wobbly or whatever, because nobody else knows where the drawn line was.
Nope, no idea, not a clue.
So, you know.
That's the beauty of it. They also don't know what this block is supposed to look like at all.
Exactly, no.
Oh, Deborah's joined us. She says, good evening from Oz. Good
evening.
Hi. It's 11:06 here. The tummies will start rumbling soon.
So you've got your shape cut out, and then you need to take off the paper adhesive.
You do? I love how
the paper adhesive. The paper side from the adhesive. Now
I love how you do this. Should we go close up, because
you can
pick at the edges is not your friend.
No,
with this,
don't do this. Don't try and get your nail underneath the paper on the corner bit. You're just going to
for your nails.
You're just going to fray your fabric at the end of the day, and your temper probably, because
you might have known I'd say nails first. But you shouldn't do it anyway. It's not good for your nails. They're not.
Take a pin,
not tools,
and just scratch it on the paper, and it will go underneath eventually. You'll go through the paper. Can you see how that's? My pin is now between the paper and my fabric. Just rip that then like that, and just pull the paper off. Now your paper will feel smooth, it won't have any of the adhesive, the rough adhesive, and your fabric will feel a little bit smooth as well. It's like a smooth texture where the adhesive has gone, but it also feels a little bit tacky. It's not tacky, it won't stick now, it's just smooth.
Okay.
And that's your adhesive. So then, you know, just think about where you want to have your moon. You might want to have it that way. You might want to have it like that.
I mean, if everyone could see, Jane, that would be really helpful. But at the moment, my page
all you've got is my chest.
Sorry
about that.
Well, that's all right. It's a different show, Jane.
Just put your moon where you want. And you can do this, you see. You can do all your bonded pieces. Bird. We've got the bird and his wing there. I've got my stalk for my pumpkin. I've done the stalk so that there's several different ways of having them. Some can be facing one way, some can be facing the other. You've got your leaf that you can put on. We can cut the little beak out. This is what I was saying about, you know, tiny pieces like this. If I tried to pin that on, I'd lose the will, really.
Yes.
You could
Bonding stuff is
you could do embroidery for little pieces like this, if you wish to, with some yellow embroidery thread.
Jane, some people like to use glue.
Yes.
Which is fine, but again, I like Bondaweb because I know I'm not gunking up my machine needle. I'm not putting adhesive into my machine. You know, machines have a habit of liking to be temperamental anyway quite often, or they certainly did when I first started sewing, enough without me then putting liquid adhesive underneath it, even once it's set.
Yeah. So once you've got everything in place, I haven't taken the papers off these. I'll just take the papers off and then...
I've got Mini PT here today, my daughter. She's taken her shoes off, Jane. She's patting around in socks because she thinks her shoes might be too loud.
Oh, bless her heart.
No, you can have your shoes on, Mini PT. Health and safety first. I'm just messaging her because I said, go and have a rummage through the panels boxes and just see if you can find any Halloween panels. She's found something that we shouldn't have anymore, which is fabulous. Yes, Megan, that's exactly what you need to be looking for. She's found some fabulous things. One of which I want for sure, so... How many will make it to the website? I do not know. I always underload. I try and make sure that I load conservatively, and then when we get to the end of something, in theory, whoever packs the last one is supposed to have a look, or the second to last one, supposed to check the inventory on our system to see.
Yes, to make sure
just to see. Or if something's cut up, they're supposed to check what I've loaded against what's physically cut.
Yeah, just in case the bulk comes up short sometimes.
Yeah. Doesn't always happen. We can be really busy. Yeah, we do it in case a bolt comes up short. We do it in case a panel or a piece of fabric has a flaw on it. We do it in case someone slips with the scissors and ruins a panel. We just don't like to disappoint anyone.
So
Jane, that's
I'm just going to snip. I would normally take this thread, I would thread it onto a needle and take it to the back of my work, but I'm just going to snip that off. And I'm going to cover it over by my leaf, so that'll bond it any frayed edges down. Do all of this on your ironing board. Because if you do it on your work table and then try and carry it to your ironing board, it's all going to move. You'll have to rearrange it. So just take everything that you're bonding to your ironing board and do it on there.
Yes.
Take your pieces of backing paper off, arrange it as you want it, and when you're happy with the arrangement, you can just take your iron and...
No, don't do that.
No steam. Just...
Scare Gemma with a loud noise.
Scare me.
Scare yourself.
And just bond those on. And then we can take those to the machine. I'm not going to do it now because it would mean changing lots of different threads.
Yes.
I chose threads that matched my fabrics. I drew the bird's legs on and then free motion embroidered over those. If you look at past block of the months, as I say, Gemma did a fantastic little close-up with her phone, and you can see my free motion embroidery technique.
Yes.
So that's quite a nice thing to look at. So if you go back, you'll be able to see how we did those. And as I said, I just did a little French knot. And again, we've got a close-up of me doing French knots on one of the block of the months as well. I think it was on the July block, wasn't it, when I did the little French knots on the cherry for the cherries on the cake.
I think so, yes.
And a running stitch then. Again, I just marked it with a fabric marker, just like a loopy line to look like a vine, like that, coming off the pumpkin. You don't have to do it, you could just leave it with a leaf on, however you want to do it. You might want to add a loopy line and then another leaf, because that's what happens with pumpkins when they're growing in the field. Entirely up to you, you can create it, make it your own picture. And that is pretty much what you do.
Amazing.
You can have really good fun with it. You'll have enough of your sparkly fabric left over. You might want to make some star shapes to put in the sky as well, or you might want to embroider it. You'll have some of your, if you've been sewing with us from the beginning and doing your January box, you'll have some of your silver metallic thread left over. So you might just want to do some stars. You know, you could do straight lines, cross, cross, cross like that. Make stars in the skies. Entirely up to you.
Nice idea.
You can embellish
I like
it,
that, Jane.
make it less, make it more, whatever you want to do.
I
Entirely
like
up to you.
Jane.
I give you the foundation, you can run with it.
Amazing.
So that's the basic.
And I love, like we say, the tactile feeling of that little padded thing there. Meg's appeared in the doorway. She has items. If you walk like a crab with your back against this unit, then you won't be seen by the camera. And we're in overhead anyway, so you can't be seeing the screen here. Look.
Bless you.
This screen shows you what the viewers can see.
Thank you very much.
You know what's going to happen next. Let me see Meg, let me see Meg. And she'll say no.
Their lovely socks on.
Her face on.
Penguin socks on.
Here we go. Yeah, this screen here shows us what everyone can see. Look, so don't fret. No one can see you. They would now. There it is. There it is. They're not too loud. We wouldn't have heard your shoes. We can pop them back on. Thank you. We do love Halloween.
We do.
We do.
We've got
that one. I was under an impression we'd sold out of.
This is the.
So that's exciting. This is the new panel, is it?
Yeah, this is the
Cast a Spell one.
Cast a Spell, and this is
Should we hold it up, Jane? Shall I hold the other end?
Book bag. Halloween book bag instructions.
Yes. It's amazing. This is very kind of HP-esque, I'm going to say.
So you've got your
HP fan myself.
Lining, the bag outer, and your handles there, the straps.
Brilliant.
You've also got these little ornaments that you can put back to back.
This is the most current bag panel.
Yes.
I have put it on a little deal today, just today.
If you don't want a bag, you could make it into a cushion.
It'd be great. You could use these components for a quilt as well. You know, there's nothing to stop you using those bits and bobs for that. I love a bookshelf quilt. Yeah. You could do elements.
Yes,
you could. You could do a bookshelf runner or something to go along the bottom of the bed. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
But it gives you all the instructions on the side of the panel here as well, so no need to worry about how to put it together, because that's always my thing with a panel, Jane, isn't it? I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's great. I love it. I can't see what I'm doing with it.
No.
I'll bring it to you, Jane. You tell me what to do. It's really cheating. Cheating. So that's the cast a spell one. Now that matches directly the trio that we've put up today. We've got 3 cast a spell fabrics in stock.
Matches these, look.
Yes.
Let's go over
my infinity scarf and this book.
You can see the fabrics in the infinity scarf.
We've got the power of speech later, Jane, won't we? Both of us. But yes.
We've got the potions.
Yep. Which you've got on there.
We've got this still by the half metre, haven't we?
We have. We have.
We've got
That's a glow-in-the-dark one.
Yeah.
As is this.
We've got crows and spell books and potions on this. On a purple background, there's spiders and all sorts of things going on here. That's rather lovely. And then we've got this one, and I love this one. This is...
I do, it's subtle, this.
It's very subtle, and you really have to look at it, but can you see the bat shapes in there?
We have very little stock of this one left. Very little.
And it's got moons and there's a little spider's web there. I just love that. But the overall effect of it is this these diamonds going through.
Clever.
So it's a lovely fabric, that is. Not necessarily obviously Halloween until you really look at it.
No. But what I love is I can wear this. Not that I'm planning my outfits at all. And with an infinity scarf, just give it a twist. Don't press your infinity scarf. If you do make one, don't ever press one, and just, you know, make it as rough as you can. If you try and put it on all neat, let me show you. Try and put it on all neat, like so, and then fold it perfectly and put it up like that. It's going to look nice. It'll look fine. But somehow not as nice as if you let it be all messy.
Give it a
Still
twist.
give it a twist, but just pull it through and just let it be messier. Just looks better. Just turn it through a few times, give it a good scrunchy scrunch look.
Yeah.
And then you just twiddle with it while it's on.
It's surprising actually how warm that is. You think, oh, it's just cotton fabric, but actually it's that.
It's a clever thing.
Scientific effect of trapping wear against
it keeps you warm enough, but not too warm. But also in the summer, what Vicky was doing last year, and we adopted this, was she was dampening her infinity scarves, wringing them out, and then popping them in the freezer for a short while, and then popping them on round her neck, and it was keeping her cool. I have to say, that's why these have become my menopause survival item. It's been brilliant. If I'm feeling that awful heat and just, you know,
it is.
It's like just crawling under your skin. It's brilliant. So yes, infinity scarf can be made out of our fat quarter trio today, but you will also get 3 cinnamon sticks. So maybe you want to make the Halloween pumpkins that we looked at earlier, the fabric pumpkins.
Okay.
But this here matches this. We also, Jane, have some panels left over that we dug around and found that are from the Haunted House collection.
Yes.
The previous collection of Lewis and Irene's. Now, the colours still mix and match beautifully with the current one as well, don't they? So these are trick or treat bags.
These are really good fun. So these are smaller
bag. So this
smaller
would be
bags.
Maybe for your littlies.
Yeah,
and then for your littlies, and then the other ones more grown up.
Just edge to edge with a strap on them. Yeah. With the straps on.
It's a big old panel, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're seeing one side there, but
on the other side you've got like
make
stuffies with, or little cushions. So you've got all of that. You can make 2 bags. You could make 4 because you could put a plain fabric on the back, and your handles there. Yeah,
and again, instructions all at the bottom.
Little decorative things to put
I love
around
the stuffies, but I'd probably be inclined to use those ghosts as applique items as well.
Yes,
because you can do all sorts of these,
absolutely.
Can't you?
You can do lots with them.
And they are phenomenal value. That one
and
comes
we've got
in 2 colourways.
I was going to say we've got 2 colours of this, haven't we?
It's great.
So we've got that one, which is that purple and black.
Let's have a look.
And then we've got an orange and green one. So it's exactly the same, but just a different colourway.
Yeah. One's just called black and the other one's called orange, so that makes life easy.
That's the orange one. So again, it's got exactly the same things on it, but it's just got the orange colourway.
I really, really like at the bottom there, you've got that stripy handle.
Yes.
Which just looks like a candy cane, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Can you see that one clearly? I'm just seeing. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and the stars.
And a little starry option as well. So really lovely to have those as an option too. Meg's been messaging me from the other room saying, I love Halloween, I want one of everything. She's 18.
It's another sort of festival we've adopted, haven't we, from America, and there's so much more stuff to do. So
yeah, now this one I didn't think we should have, so we're gonna have to check this panel over and make sure that there wasn't anything wrong with it. I should imagine it's just that one of us wanted it.
Possibly. It needs to have some plain fabric with it. I think we did it with a plain.
We put this one with an orange plain.
Yeah. Just so that you could
dark and dramatic. This
border
one,
it and
yeah, and then it's just ready hanging. Yeah,
just hang it. You could have some fun.
It's there and it's ready.
Following these patterns on your quilting, you could just do crosshatch quilting on it.
Yeah.
It would be lovely. Look at that cat. I love that cat down there.
The cat is lovely. Let's grab. Actually, there you go.
Let me see.
If you can see his little face.
Which is Brew.
Love it. But then we have the more subtle option.
Yes.
Which we love.
This is these are Moda this is Moda fabric.
Yeah,
I thought it was
Ghostly Greetings by
Moda.
Debbie Strain, wasn't it?
Yeah. I love her stuff.
Yeah.
And then this one is just lighter. This is the beige colourway.
Now this one we've put with a cotton plain in bamboo. If you look at this and you think, oh, I don't want it with bamboo, I'd rather have it with something a bit more dramatic. Because I think we did 75 centimetres, Jane, so you could back it, and therefore having something light worked. But if you want to have a different plain, maybe you want some black or maybe you want some orange, just pop it a note on your order to say, please substitute my plain with an orange, or please substitute my plain with black.
There's a little bit here that our gold would look nice with. We'll just lift it.
But yeah, just or white or anything. If you want us to substitute with a different plain
just
from our cotton plains, just pop it in as a note on your order and we will do that for you. That one is on offer today as well at 30% off. It should be $15.99 and it's £11.19.
Bargain.
I know.
Bargains.
And you're getting the panel and 3/4 of a metre of plain for that.
Amazing. Good value.
Incredible. Yeah,
Great
really
value.
good value. It's been lovely to have you with us, Jane. Yes. It's been a full show of pumpkin loveliness.
Pumpkin and Halloween loveliness. Oh, and don't forget, we've still got some of our, what's it called?
We say still, they've only just come in. So this is the cotton cloth collection from Renin Animan.
I just pulled a few of the autumnal colours from there, but that would look lovely as alternatives to the batiks in your pumpkins or for your
fabric gourds.
Your fabric gourds, they'd look lovely.
Yeah.
Or just, get
just
half metre each.
Autumnal makes in general. So I like to decorate my house for autumn. I do. I think, you have the summer, and then it starts to be that the leaves are turning brown and everything's starting to fall. And some people go, "Oh no, that's summer over." I really embrace autumn. I love it, and I like to decorate my house. I've got a really lovely. In fact, I bought it years ago, but it's got some plastic pumpkins and leaves and what have you in it that just sits on the fireplace, and it's just so nice to make these beautiful things.
Yes, because it doesn't need to be Halloween, does it? You can just make it autumnal.
And celebrating harvest and all of that as well. I love it. So I think there's options there. I've put actually your autumn wall hanging instructions on today's list as well, because that was a really popular make. It's a lovely quilt with pumpkins on.
That would look beautiful in those fabrics.
It looks stunning in these fabrics. I think that needs to be something that gets revisited at some point.
We make that one.
Yes. But yes,
all
these options here. It's it's lovely time of the year, I say. My mum said when I was little, you'll learn to appreciate the seasons.
Yes, we're very lucky that we do have. We're lucky we have seasons. Some countries don't, do they? So yeah.
Oh, Meg's been in the comments. I love the skeleton fabric. I demand a Halloween skeleton cushion, Gemma Pinfield. Thomas, you can make one yourself. I will teach you. Got a spare sewing machine. You're not getting on my NX. You can stay away from my NX. I've got a spare sewing machine you can use. It's fine. Sue Langford says it's misty by the sea in southeast Cornwall. Can barely see the woods along the valley.
Yeah, it was misty when I was coming to work this morning. It was beautiful because as I come to work, the sun's just rising. And there's one part that I come across this road and I come over this little bridge and there's an old water mill. It's not working anymore, but there's a water wheel and the mill there and just this field. And of course, because there's a little brook round by there, it's all misty. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. It's gorgeous.
I had a bit of that on the way to work this morning. It's just, and last night, actually late last night, there was a lot of mist about. It's beautiful. I did leave it quite late, so that's probably why. Yes, it's a beautiful time when you get that going on.
Lovely.
But yeah, there's lots of people saying that there's some sun where they are. So it's sunny in Spalding, sunny in Fenland. Meg enjoyed her debut on the show, off camera. Sylv says, don't press them, you need to fluffle them up. I'm assuming she means my infinity scarf, but that rule could be applied to many different things.
It could be.
Absolutely.
It could be.
Oh, Sylv says the ghosties are cute and she loves the skeletons. Yeah, we do too. Joe says, my daughter's 36 and I made 2 last year for her and my granddaughter. Quite right.
Absolutely.
Everyone needs a trick-or-treat pack. I keep telling my mum I need an advent calendar, but I don't get one every year, which is just rude. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, it's good. Everyone seems happy. No one's got any questions about today's make. But if you have at any point, then you can always email us info@natashamakes.com. Jane's quite happy to get your emails.
I will always help if I can. Always. Yes.
Always.
Don't be frightened to ask. Nope. There's no such thing as a silly question.
Nope.
We all learn differently. We all need extra help sometimes. So please, don't struggle. Just ask me.
Or even if it's just bragging rights. Maybe you've made something you're absolutely thrilled with and you want to show us. Then feel free to either email it through to Jane if it's just for our eyes only. Just pop on your email. Please don't share, and we will just keep it amongst ourselves.
Keep it to ourselves. Yeah.
Alternatively, if you want to show the world, maybe you're super proud, you can go to our sharing page, our Community Makes page on our website, natashamakes.com. Go across to Community Makes, click that link and upload your picture there. Don't worry if it doesn't show straight away, it shouldn't. It's a little safety mechanism we've got there. Our Saroj, our lovely SJ, she has to check it.
Yes, because some people like to show us pictures that we might not want to share with other people.
No, they're probably proud of what they're showing us, but we're not so interested in seeing it. So once your item is uploaded, it will go into a queue, and then when SJ gets a chance, she sits with a brew and goes through them all and says, yes, we'll show that to the world, and oh, heck no, we won't show that.
Yeah.
But then that means that everybody can have a look. And I'd invite you to all have a look on the Community Makes page as well, because you are all part of the community. Go and have a look and see what everyone else is making.
You might see... Yeah. Like I say, there's been people that have made the blocks and they've added their own twist to it. It might inspire you. You might think, oh yeah, I could do that with mine, or I might just do this. It's lovely to see how other people have interpreted things, and it is really nice. And it's nice for me to see how people have run with the ideas and made it their own. It's lovely.
I do hear a little squeak sometimes, and then she rushes in with a laptop saying, look what this lady's done with this, look what this chap's done with this, and she shows me what's been done, and it's lovely to see.
It's really nice. I love it.
Oh, but it is Wednesday, Jane.
It is.
Not Big Bap Wednesday, because our Jane doesn't do Big Baps in the summer.
No.
It's very upsetting. Once autumn gets here, though, she'll get her Baps out again.
Yes.
It'll be great. We'll all be
delighted.
she'll
be making soup again, because we love her soups too.
She makes a great soup.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the things to look forward to in autumn. Jane's Big Baps and the soup.
Yes.
And the pumpkins and this block being displayed as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely. Tonight, don't forget, at midnight, the Half Meter Heavens go live, so don't miss those. You will also get your Friday newsletter on Friday. Then we've got the weekend. Woohoo! Yes. I'll be in a field. On a Monday, Natasha will be in front of you. She will. With fabulous makes, and poor SJ trying to keep her in control, because in theory, I should be in a field. Every time I've said I'm having a day off, I don't, do I?
No.
So let's see,
she's not very good at having her annual leave.
But SJ should be here trying to keep Tash in line, so that should be entertaining.
Yes.
We shall see, eh?
Yeah.
On Tuesday, it's Natasha's birthday. Yes. She's 104 and she's having a sparkly show. I know, she really will. I get away with it. But she's having a sparkly show on Tuesday with all the sparkly things in all the world. Special sparkly stuff that you've not seen before from a special supplier who we love very much. All I'm going to say is, if anyone's seen the Bombay Sapphire bottle that's been lurking...
It might be behind my shoulder. Move forward.
That's a Tuesday situation. Definitely.
Exciting.
All right. And then Wednesday, Jane, you'll be back.
I'll be back. I've got a lovely Lisa Chandler make.
You have.
A little bit different.
It's a phenomenal technique that we adore, and it's wowie, isn't it?
It is wowie.
It is wowie. It is. So yes, that's next week. So please, please, please do support us. You know,
we can't do it without you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We bring you these shows.
We need
those orders make all the difference. So thank you. And if you are an international viewer and you're thinking, oh, I can't buy these fabrics, what a shame. Oh no. Then you can still buy our digital patterns.
Yes.
And our digital content will be up.
Yep.
Today's pattern, Jane just needs to have a final cast of an eye over, and that will go up within minutes after the show, so keep an eye out. And then, we'll have other patterns coming through as well. Yesterday's I will get up as soon as I can in digital format. But yes, to you international viewers who buy those, we thank you as well. We'll see you again next week.
Yeah.
Crikey Bobs. Need to lie down now, Jane.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
The things.
Yes.
Take care. Lots of love.
Bye-bye.
Bye.